This time on Distant Shores, construction begins on our new boat, starting with the very first weld, which I make myself. We see how MIG welding works and start assembling frames and bulkheads as construction is full steam ahead.
We're Cheryl and Paul Shard, hosts of the Distant Shores Sailing Adventure TV series. We've been cruising and living aboard for 32 years, documenting the sailing lifestyle. Join us for the building of our fifth boat, a custom aluminum Orion 49.
Super exciting day today. It's the start of building of Distant Shores 4. Here
custom aluminum Orion 49.
It's very exciting here.
Yes.
It's a bit of a rainy day in May, and the boat build starts today. The cutting is already done and the plates will be set up. So I think that's in this shop here.
Yes, for your boat we have today two parts that we're gonna weld together. The front part and here the first bulkhead of a small part from it. And that's the start building that we're gonna do this afternoon.
So what's happening here?
So we're going to try a little practice weld before making the first weld on the boat. So that's pretty exciting. Thank you for letting me. You got spare pieces of this in case I mess it up, do you?
Yes, of course we have.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is feeding a little piece of aluminum constantly down.
Yes.
So long as I touch, the aluminum will continue to come out the tip.
Yes, it is.
And how far away do I?
So in aluminium, you always weld staggered this way.
So I'm going to go this way like that.
Yes, that looks good.
So how close am I going? You're allowed to hold this thing?
You can go pretty close with your cup to on the aluminium. Yes.
What a mess. Obviously I can't see what I'm doing very well.
Yes, that looks better.
The last bit's all right. To see what's actually happening right in a weld, I asked Tim of YouTube channel Tim Welds if I could use a little of his excellent video showing the process for welding aluminum. MIG welding involves joining two pieces of metal using a high current electric arc and a bit of extra filler metal to bridge the gap. In the end, you have a solid join as strong as the individual pieces. The process involves creating an electric arc between the wire electrode and the metal workpieces, forming a melted pool, joining the two surfaces as they fuse together. A shielding gas, usually argon, is flowing out the end of the gun to protect the weld, which would otherwise be contaminated with the oxygen and nitrogen in the air. When I pull the trigger on the gun, shielding gases start flowing and the wire electrode starts being fed out from the tip to melt into the weld. So do you start it when you already have it in the position?
Yeah, like you hold it so before, yes. And then a little bit closer to the material when you start.
Oh, okay, it's okay.
How did he do?
Duimpje omhoog.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
All the months of planning and preparation and cutting out the plates have led up to this. The first two pieces for the boat are going to be welded together. Up in the bow, the stem head reinforcement will be welded to the forward bow bulkhead on our new boat, and I'm invited to make the actual first weld. Yikes! For real, this is actually welding the first weld on the boat. You want it down here? Which part?
Yes. To start here, a little part. Only that one to that one. This is only for
yeah, this is for
holding it on its plate.
But it's down in the corner, so okay. I'm not ready, but I'm ready-ish. That's because you haven't seen it yet. There. That part's, that's getting good. That's a good piece.
Ja, een beetje daarheen.
Good way to start off the build.
Yes. So Ronald.
First welding was by Paul.
Yes.
I hope he overdoes that over again on top of it. I did a little bit of it, was all right.
So very exciting. The first Orion 49 being built by Gebroeders van Enkhuizen.
Gebroeders.
Yes. How do you say it?
Gebroeders.
Gebroeders.
Gebroeders. I gotta practice.
Now that the professionals will be taking over the welding, it's going to get done to a very high standard. KB Alubouw has very skilled workers and all the latest equipment. We learned that the floor of this building was very precisely manufactured with the heavy steel strips set into the floor to be perfectly level. This way they can lay parts out and assemble boats with a perfect horizontal reference plane. So the two parts we've welded together in the bow are meant to be exactly level and exactly on the same plane. All we needed to do was stand them upright and weld them together. Well, how are we feeling about today?
Oh my goodness, what an exciting day. And you got to weld our boat, our brand new boat.
Yeah, the beginning of the new project has happened, so we've got at least two pieces of aluminum welded together.
Yeah, got to start somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
And
we're down on the waterfront in Makkum. It's on the IJsselmeer or the IJssel Lake, and it's, you know, for such a small town, it's a beach town, it's a boat building town. It's really a great place to be, to have this project going on. Although a lot of high-tech boat building goes on in Makkum, it remains a center for traditional boats, which we'll try our hand at sailing in a future video.
all right, we're off to the boatyard, where the aluminum fabricators have started their work and apparently getting things organized. Now we've got bikes so we can get around up here. Everything seems connected so nicely by bike paths, and it's just a 5-minute ride down to the boatyard. All right, so they're supposed to be getting everything down here. All the parts on this floor are meant to be our boat. So, oh my goodness, the whole room is full of parts. This is incredible how this process works, because the milling machine makes essentially the parts are ready to go, and it's just been a week since we were here, and the whole floor is covered in parts, and apparently these are all from our boat. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, I am Klaas. I'm from KB Alubouw in Makkum. We are, and we have started with building your boat.
Oh, we're very excited. It looks like early stages here.
Yes, yes, it is.
Tell us what happened to get to this point, and then what will happen with these pieces that we're looking at.
Yes, we can. We first have milled all the plates. After that, we have started, we can take here a piece, to cut all the sharp edges, like this. Oh, first they are sharp, like this on the outside.
Very, yeah.
And now they are...
Oh my gosh, so all these surfaces,
yes,
the guys have been beveling or...
Yes, yes, with a small milling machine.
Well, we've only been away for a day, is it? Something like a day. And the whole shop is entirely covered in pieces of Distant Shores 4. There's an incredible number of pieces. I mean, look at all these things. They look like just a little tiny square piece here. This is the Orion 49 front OBP P4 PL414. But it's such a small piece, but it's been pre-cut and pre-edged, ready to turn into this assembly here, and they know from these codes where to put the pieces, get them ready to go. And some of the other pieces have already been bent, So you can see all this stack of pieces here has already been bent over into the correct corners. And then there's some of the big bulkheads up here too. Between the forward cabin, that's the door through from the forward cabin back into the saloon. So they've got the stiffening pieces on this already. It's incredible how much progress has happened in just the first week that they've really been working on the boat. And I think next week they'll be starting by sanding the things up, by standing all the bulkheads up and starting to put the frames together. So we're going to record all this with the cameras here in the shop so we can see the boat starting to take shape. The ribs provide support to the hull and deck, adding tremendously to the strength of the assembly. The ribs each have a plate welded to the inside edge to make it stiffer. This is much easier to do before the ribs are installed. It's quite efficient to line them all up and make rib sub-assemblies, ready to be installed as the hull comes together. Some of the largest components of the new boat will be bulkheads. Here is the main bulkhead just ahead of the mast. It measures 3.5 meters wide and 2.5 meters tall, so it can't be cut from a plate 6 meters by 2 meters. The answer is to cut out 2 pieces and weld them together as an assembly. Soon we're going to be out sailing on one of the Dutch sailing barges out here.
Lemstrak.
Called a Lemstrak. But we've started Distant Shores 4.
Join us next time when we get back to the water to take you along on one of our sail away weeks. This time aboard a traditional Dutch Lemstrak, exploring the Dutch canals and Frisian Islands, while work on the build of Distant Shores continues.
So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and throw a comment below if you'd like to see more videos on the process of building a new aluminum sailboat. Thanks for watching.